More now from a key member of both the Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committees, Republican Senator James Risch of Idaho is joining us from Boise right now. What do you make of this rather tense relationship between the President of the United States and the Prime Minister of Israel, Senator?
Well, Wolf, I think it's really time for people to stop and take a breath and relax for a bit. To my friends that are watching in Israel, I want to say that our constitutional form of government provides for 3 equal branches. And although there is a spat between the Prime Minister and the Chief Executive of the second branch of our government, there is no deterioration between the first branch of our government and the people of Israel and the government of Israel. Other than perhaps a handful of the 535 members, we remain strongly committed to Israel. We understand that you do have ups and downs from time to time, but overall, the expression that the members of Congress gave to the Prime Minister 2 weeks ago gave him a thunderous applause and standing ovations as he explained in clear detail how strongly the bond is between the United States of America and Israel. That relationship remains solid today. And for Israel's enemies who are watching, I would tell you, do not take solace and do not take comfort in these news reports you see that there is a spat going on. There is a bond that continues and will continue between the United States of America and Israel.
But you know, Senator, that even in the aftermath of Prime Minister Netanyahu's victory, getting himself reelected, the White House is publicly saying that they're going to reassess this U.S.-Israeli relationship because they're more inclined to believe what he said on the eve of the election, that he would never allow a Palestinian state to be created on his watch, that what he said in the immediate aftermath of the election, that he still believes in the so-called two-state solution, Israel and a new state of Palestine. Basically, they're saying they don't trust him anymore.
Well, you know, Wolf, the statement that they're going to reassess does not apply to the first branch of our government. There are very few people in the first branch out of the 535 members, I believe, who share that view. As far as what the Prime Minister said, I think there may have been something lost in the translation there. Certainly he did refer to the fact that there would be no state solution, but he said, and I believe the exact words were today. And he's certainly right that today, that's a long ways away. Having said that, he has been firm for a long, long time and committed to a two-state solution. He has reaffirmed it over and over and over again since the media has reported that there was some weakening in that position. I'm surprised, and I think a lot of people are surprised, that the White House has reacted the way it has to this. I'm wondering if it isn't something else that's causing them to have the feelings they have.
Well, I'm sure they were irritated by his visit to Washington to address that joint meeting of the U.S. Congress. They certainly didn't like what he had to say. Is that what you're hinting at?
Well, that clearly was expressed by the White House, which seemed, because of the magnitude of what we're dealing with here, it seemed rather juvenile the way this played out. The president had the opportunity to meet with him while he was here, and the president declined. So there's no question that on a personal level, there are issues between the two gentlemen. That is so small compared to the overall issues that we are facing in the Middle East, and particularly with the relationship that we have, one of the best relationships, if not the best relationship, of any country in the neighborhood.
Senator Risch, I want you to stand by. We have a lot more to discuss what's going on, these ISIS massacres in Yemen and Tunisia, a lot more, much more with Senator Risch when we come back.
Denver International is one of the busiest airports in the country. We operate just like a city, and that takes a lot of energy. We use natural gas throughout the airport for heating the entire terminal, generating electricity on site, and fueling hundreds of vehicles. We're very focused on reducing our environmental impact, and natural gas is a big part of that commitment.
Caring for someone with Alzheimer's means I am a lot of things. I am his sunshine. I am his advocate. So I asked about adding once daily Namenda XR to his current treatment for moderate to severe Alzheimer's. It works differently. When added to another Alzheimer's treatment like Aricept, it may improve overall function and cognition and may slow the worsening of symptoms for a while.
Namenda XR doesn't change how the disease progresses. It shouldn't be taken by anyone allergic to memantine or who's had a bad reaction to Namenda XR or its ingredients. Before starting treatment, tell their doctor if they have or ever had a seizure disorder, difficulty passing urine, liver, kidney, or bladder problems, and about medications they're taking. Certain medications, changes in diet, or medical conditions may affect the amount of Namenda XR in the body and may increase side effects. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and dizziness.
He's always been my everything. Now I am giving back. Ask their doctor about adding once daily Namenda XR.
The Lexus Command Performance Sales Event has begun. Take command of every urban adventure, scenic drive, or parts unknown. With the highly capable GX, versatile RX, or first ever NX Turbo. Come see why Lexus is the fastest growing automotive luxury brand during the Command Performance Sales Event. Get great offers on your favorite Lexus models now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer.
Well, a mortgage shouldn't be a problem. Your credit's in pretty good shape.
Pretty good? I know I have a 798 FICO score thanks to the tools and help on Experian.com. Kaboom.
Oh. Well, I just have a few other
Chuck,
questions.
the only other question you need to ask is what else can you do for me?
I'll just take a water.
Get your credit swagger on. Become a member of Experian Credit Tracker and find out your FICO score powered by Experian. FICO scores are used in 90% of credit decisions.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit hungry and there's nothing good around.
Turn around, Barry.
I finally found the right snack.
On my wedding night, the Nazis destroyed my family. This painting of my aunt was taken off the wall.
And now you'd like to take it back.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
We're taking the Austrian government to court.
I won't let them humiliate me again.
They're going to put as many obstacles in your way as possible.
Once the past has been put to right, there's justice.
Woman in Gold, rated PG-13.
If there's a precise way to do something, Spider ETF investors will find it. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Call 1-866-787-2257 for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully.
If anybody is looking for home repair, home improvement, you need to go to Home Advisor.
At Home Advisor, you'll find millions of reviews of pre-screened local home pros.
Home Advisor took care of all of it, and they're there when I need them.
And it's always free. Go to homeadvisor.com now.
Closed captioning brought to you by InventHelp. Call 1-888-909-4332.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, call my friends at InventHelp.
Call for free information.
This is CNN Breaking News.
The breaking news, President Obama now speaking out, and the Senate's holding up the confirmation of his Attorney General nominee, Loretta Lynch. We're back with Republican Senator James Risch of Idaho. Senators, you know, Republicans are insisting the Senate finish work on another bill before even bringing up the Lynch nomination for a full vote on the Senate floor. I want you to listen. Here's President Obama just coming out, speaking to a reporter for the Huffington Post.
You don't hold attorney general nominees hostage for other issues. This is our top law enforcement office. Nobody denies that she's well qualified. We need to go ahead and get her done.
And is Eric Holder prepared to stay as long as possible?
Yes, he is. And the irony is, of course, that the Republicans really dislike Mr. Holder. If they really want to get rid of him, the best way to do it is go ahead and get Loretta Lynch confirmed.
All right, what do you say about that, Senator Risch? What's your reaction?
Well, you know, this just amazes me. I don't know what he thinks we're holding her hostage for. What is on the floor of the United States Senate right now is a human trafficking bill that the Democrats support. They voted for it unanimously in committee, and now they're filibustering the bill. Once that filibuster's over, we're going to vote on that bill, up or down, and the very next moment there's going to be a vote on the Attorney General nominee. But why they're doing this is absolutely beyond me. I'm surprised somebody in the media hasn't asked for a clear explanation for the Democrats why they're filibustering a bill that they want and is also standing in the way of getting to the vote on the Attorney General nominee. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
They don't like
the president knows
they don't like the provision in that sex trafficking legislation that has restrictions on abortion rights for women.
Problem is that was in there when they all voted for it unanimously, and the language is identical to the language that is in every appropriation bill that they always support.
Will you vote for will you vote for the let's say you get over that hurdle and she comes up for a final vote in the House in the U.S. Senate? Will you vote to confirm this woman who has been widely respected as the U.S. Attorney in New York?
Right. Yeah, no, I will not vote for her, and my reason is very clear. I disagree vehemently with her view of what the president can do by executive action. However, she is going to be confirmed. All Democrats are going to vote for, and there are enough Republicans who are going to vote for that are going to confirm her. What we need to do is get on with it and get it done, get it behind us, and move on.
Can't you do two things in the Senate at the same time? Deal with the sex trafficking bill, but at the same time, let her nomination come up for a vote?
Wolf, not when the Democrats are filibustering. All they got to do is sit down, shut up, and call the roll, and the next vote's going to be the Attorney General vote.
All right, we'll see what happens on that. Let's get back to the breaking news we've been following on these ISIS deadly massacres in Yemen and Tunisia. What's going on now? You're a member of the Intelligence Committee. Is ISIS real? They're saying this is just the tip of the iceberg. Are they right?
Well, I don't know if that would be a good way to characterize it, but there is very good reason to be concerned, and you and I have talked about this on a number of occasions. The troubling part of all of this is these attacks are being carried on by people who are not operationally connected with ISIS. And although ISIS takes credit for these are simply, or more likely, just ISIS-inspired. Now, what does that mean to the average American? What that means is this can happen anywhere in the world. It can happen just as it did today in Yemen or earlier in Tunisia, or it could happen in Philadelphia. I mean, this is very troubling because they are not connected operationally, only inspirationally.
Here's what also is very troubling, that Washington Post report this week that the Pentagon has basically lost track of about $500 million in U.S. weaponry, aircraft, equipment, machine guns, tanks, all sorts of other sophisticated weaponry. $500 million worth of stuff left behind in Yemen as the U.S. evacuated the embassy. That stuff was supposed to be used by a friendly Yemeni government, but that government has now collapsed. You must be really worried about that.
Well, I am, and I'm troubled by whoever made that decision, because it was obvious long before we left and long before there was a collapse of the Yemenis government that they were probably going to be incapable of standing up to the Houthi rebels, who, as you know, are backed heavily by Iran. It was pretty evident that the bottom was falling out long before it did.
Yeah, it's not just in Yemen. Think of all the billions of U.S. weaponry left behind in Iraq, now in the hands of ISIS as the Iraqi military abandon their positions in Mosul and elsewhere. This is extremely dangerous stuff. Senator Risch, always good to have you here in the Situation Room. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good to be with you again.
Thank you. Just ahead, ISIS calls it